Hi YouTube, this is Mark from Abilities, and today I'm going to be giving you an update on how things have been going with the buddy button to control my SmartDrive. And I'm also going to show you how I get up the ramp in my van using the buddy button, so stay tuned. All right, so I've been using the buddy button for about 2 months now, I would say, maybe a month and a half. And things have been going pretty good. You know, it's not exactly the same function as the speed control dial. I really like the speed control dial because I was controlling, from very slow to, going a little bit faster, whether I was in like a grocery store or if I was going up the ramp of my van, which is where I use it the most and where I rely on it. It was very, very much controlled, right? So this is a little bit different. With this button, you're having to hold it in, go up, and then right when you get to the top of the ramp, you kind of have to hit it real quick to stop it. So that can be a little bit frustrating. I mean, it's been, working pretty well. I haven't had any falls or mishaps, so that's a good thing. But I did want to point out a couple of things before I show you how I go up my ramp. And that is that with the buddy button, it is super sensitive. So if you're using it going over, like, say, sidewalks and there's cracks or bumps, it actually will engage it and turn the feature off. So you could be going along, speeding, and all of a sudden it'll just stop. I mean, you're not going to stop, you're going to keep rolling, but the power will stop. And that's a little bit annoying, especially if, let's say, you're going up an incline and you hit a bump. You kind of have to hold it in and press it again to get the speed up again. So it's almost like you're going to slow down and then catch up again. And sometimes that can be a pain depending on if you have stuff on your lap or whatnot. But that's the one thing that I noticed because it is so sensitive. Now, on the flip side, you have to hold the button in to accelerate. So even though this may like engage and click on, you have to do that second step. So there's no fear of it, taking you somewhere. I just want to let you know that you could be using it and then it all of a sudden stops because the button is going to turn off. The other thing is, I don't, the way this is connected, like the speed control dial, sometimes it's a little finicky. Sometimes it'll not want to work or it will work. I have to unplug it and plug it or have somebody help me do that. It's not a perfect connection the way it goes into the back. Plus, my seat sits really low, and I think the wiring kind of pushes down on my seat sling where the axle meets, so it's probably a problem with my chair. Maybe other people wouldn't experience that. But I also wanted to mention one other thing, and that's, I chose to put the buddy button down here lower because I didn't want to have it up on my bars when I transfer because this is not removable. I would say that's caused some considerable problems for me because, I'm always running into stuff, whether it's a door or the couch, even my transfer seat when I'm getting in and trying to turn in my chair in my van. But just to give you an example, like last night, I was at a pizza restaurant and my son was sitting next to me and I was moving my chair and this button pushed up against his chair and engaged, and I moved the table and it was a little bit scary because I had to try and get down and hit the button. So I would say if you can, turn the SmartDrive off if you're in a place where you don't really need to have the power assist, because this could be an issue. I don't know if it's higher, like if that's going to be an issue, but just letting you know, like, it's so sensitive that that could happen. And that's the thing about the dial. Like the dial, you had to turn it versus just push it. So if you're pushing up against it, could be an issue. So I just wanted to let you know about that. But okay, well, I'm going to go take you over to the van and I'll show you how I get up my ramp. All right, so for this video, I'm going to show you how I come down my driveway. It's kind of at an angle, so I have to go slow. And this is how I normally get into the ramp van. I'm going to come up really close to the ramp here, and I'm going to go ahead and turn my buddy button on with one click. There we go, I heard the beep. And I'm going to go ahead and hold it in. I'm going to do it not too fast, just so I can get up to the top of the ramp. When I get up to the top of the ramp, I'm going to hit the button again to stop the power. And I've kind of gotten a good routine, so it's not too hard, but I wanted to show you how I did it, okay? So I turn it on, I'm going to go ahead and hold it. And then release. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get up the ramp here. I'm going to get really close to it. I'm going to go ahead and make sure my buddy button is on. All right, hear the beep. Now, I'm going to go ahead and engage it, but I'm going to hold my wheel just because it could turn up the ramp. I want to make sure I go as straight as possible. And then right when I get to the top, I'm going to go ahead and hit it again to kill the power assist, so I'm not like running through the other side of my van, okay? All right, here we go. So hold it, hold my wheel, get up, pop it. Now you can see my hand's kind of going low, I'm kind of lean. It's not ideal, it's not perfect, but it works for me. If you can get it mounted higher and have that be what works for you, that's great. Ideally, I would like to have it up here so I'm not trying to lean and all that, because that kind of throws off my balance. But all right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope that was helpful. For those of you that have a SmartDrive and you haven't switched to the buddy button yet, you should definitely check it out. I don't really trust the speed control dial anymore from what I've been told, even though I love it. So, see if you can get one of these and check it out. I hope it was helpful. If you have any other questions, please leave them below. You can email me at marketabilities.com. Please like, subscribe. We're going to be putting out another video in a couple days here, but just wanted to, say thank you for joining me today, and I hope that this was helpful regarding the buddy button. Thank you guys. Keep working hard towards your independence.